I am an iSing parent of a Harmonics 2 daughter, and I'm also a graduate of Stanford Business School. And the Stanford ACT program is short for the Alumni Consulting Team. It's an organization that is affiliated with Stanford Business School, and it provides pro bono consulting expertise to nonprofits. All the consultants are Stanford alums who volunteer their time to use what they learn in their careers and at school to help nonprofits across a range of projects, anything from strategy to financial sustainability to marketing to growth. So there are probably two levels to that. There's an initial screen that all applicants to the ACT program have to go through. And that's pretty straightforward. It's just to make sure that the Stanford consulting team can actually have an impact on the organization. So things like, is the project appropriately scoped and defined? Are the deliverables reasonable? Is there an alignment of stakeholders currently in the organization? And so all the projects that make their way through that screen, you could deem, of course, worthy projects. These are all projects that'll have an impact on the community. In my mind, the key is then to match the right consultants with the projects. And there's certainly an element of having the right background and the right expertise there. But my personal point of view is that finding consultants who have a passion for that project is really important. And so for me, there were a couple of factors. One, obviously, I'm an iSing parent, and this I found meaningful because it was an opportunity to give back to a program that our family values. It's an organization that I already see the value in, and I already believe in the mission for. But equally important, what really resonated with me was the nature of this project specifically. Myself and my family, we've been really fortunate, and I'm personally drawn to issues that relate to equity, particularly involving children. And so I found this project to be really compelling for that reason. Let me answer two questions. One is what I learned about iSing in general, and then specifically about the program. As a parent, I came in with great context about iSing, obviously. But through the project, I was able to see things that most parents don't get to see. So when we joined because my daughter loves singing. And it was an opportunity for her to hone her craft and engage in an activity she enjoyed along with close friends. But through the project, what I was able to do was get a full picture of the arc that your curriculum offers from second, third grade girls all the way through high school. And I was able to see the care and the thoughtfulness with which you and Jenna have constructed it. And how you take to dive deeper into the details of understanding how you impart to girls musical expertise and character development, and give them an opportunity to exercise leadership skills, and how you scaffold them from the young ages all the way up through high school. And this was definitely echoed through all of the conversations that I was able to have with girls and parents and staff members to hear what this experience has meant to them at the tail end of their journey and how impactful it has been. Now, specifically with respect to Redwood City, I actually had no context for that program coming into this project. And the two biggest things that I learned about it in talking to people in the iSing community, and neither of them are really a surprise, but the two things are, one, programs such as this are, you could almost say, entirely absent from communities that are right next door to ours, and that there's a real need for these sorts of programs. Not only to bring the joy of music into the lives of these children, but to offer the stepping stones that you offer to all the girls in your program. So an education in music fundamentals, an ability to find a passion and develop that passion, and to open the door to potentially life-changing opportunities, whether that's doing a recording in a studio or traveling the world or participating in competitions at the highest level. These sort of opportunities just don't exist in communities that are just footsteps away from our own. The second thing I learned, again, not a surprise, is how challenging it is to do what you want to do with the Redwood City program well. As I learn more about the iSing model and learn how unique it is in the array of musical offerings that are out there in the peninsula, I felt increasingly like this is the right vehicle for a task such as that. But challenging is not only, is the vehicle constructed right? Challenging is also a matter of the problem that you're trying to address. And the need that you're trying to address in Redwood City in a lot of ways is much more challenging than, certainly different, and potentially more challenging than the one you're trying to address through the Palo Alto program. Because you are trying to achieve all the things that you're achieving with the girls currently in your program in a community that lacks so many of the resources that our girls have, that may lack the educational and musical foundations that our girls have, and that face daily struggles like food insecurity, housing insecurity, stressors that thankfully don't exist for so many of our own girls. And so it is a qualitatively different challenge that you are addressing with the Redwood City program. So I think this is incredibly important for these communities. I am personally a huge believer in the arts. And for children, whether it's arts or whether it's sports or some other activity, there's certainly the intrinsic value that these activities can bring into their lives, the joy that they can bring in, and that's incredibly important. But the opportunity then to pursue these interests or these passions with dedication over a long period of time, and this is where you get the life lessons and you develop the skills of discipline and resilience, and where you generate opportunities for collaboration or leadership. And those sorts of things are truly invaluable. My belief is, in a perfect world, every child should get these opportunities. But in the real world, they're limited to a very few. And through this project, I think we are developing a model with the potential to deliver on some of that promise and hopefully bring our reality a little bit closer to the ideal.